I have a bit of a conundrum. Go back to the early 90s, 750 Daytona, 955 Daytona, 675 Daytona, TT 600 also. Nice bikes. All bikes were respectable performance on a track day. This, everything performance and power a little bit down. That's my conundrum with this. And that's what I want to talk about today, guys. Hi guys, Nothing to Prove here. Today's a beautiful day because any day one could be out on two wheels. Yeah, I have my drone with me. Just having some fun there with it. Daytona, let's talk. Why did Triumph detune, drop everything? Well, first of all, they brought the 660 power from up 80 to 15 more ponies to 95. So as far as this motor is concerned, they brought the power up, but not enough to match the old Daytonas of old. I don't know if it's going to hit me with this wind. Now, say competition. Why? That's why Triumph brought this down. They're hitting a price point with this. With the Japanese 4 and Aprilia, they're all trying to hit a price point with Aprilia being the most and Triumph being the second cheapest. But then Triumph is also, if you look on this list, weighs the second heaviest. It's not the heaviest. Honda always takes that crown. Okay, I shouldn't say always. Almost always takes that crown. But now that you see why Triumph have brought the performance of this down, want a price point and want to compete in this 6 group point range, now I get it. How does that power and transmission feel on the street? All right, nobody behind me. Let's bring her all the way down to 1. This has the optional quick shifter on it, so let's do a roll on and try this at about medium throttle, 50% throttle, shall we? Oh, nice. Look at that, all the way into 6th. Oh, no complaints. Usually Triumph, you do very well. This is a bumpy corner. Yeah, okay, out. Do very well with quick shifters. Usually Triumph does. 8 out of 10 bikes. Yeah, no complaints. Is it as good as Aprilia? No. Is it as good as some Ducatis? No. But it's good. I'm happy with it. And going back down, and this powertrain, there's no complaints about it. You know, at 95 ponies, they tweaked out, changed some engine parts to give it go from 80 to 95. So you got 15 more ponies on this thing. And yeah. Yeah, you can have some fun with this, thrashing this. But you got to remember, it's only 95. So, and you feel that right away. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. But I am liking this powertrain. The engine and transmission work well together. Well, although I like the Trident and then the 660 Sport too. It was great. But both of those I've never had a quick shifter. This is the first engine and transmission of this nature that I've ridden with a quick shifter. So, oh man, I think I would like the Trident with a quick shifter then. That's I would. So this powertrain is getting 2 thumbs way up. Boom, boom. Showa, yeah, separate function fork, big piston, but what's missing here? No adjustability, yeah. 110 travel here on these Showas. 310 here, radial mount, 4 piston. That's nice though, gotta admit. 130 mils of travel down here. A single piston floater, yeah, that's empty, and a 220 back there. So how is this suspension and brakes on the street. I'm going down my favorite bumpy road with this non-adjustable big piston Showas, and they're coping nicely, I must say. Okay, now here we go. You can hear in my voice. I think I would loosen up the preload a click or two for my weight, but they're performing nicely. Here, let's go into this a little bit. There we go. Not bad. They're sticking. They're holding. I'm feeling every bump, which you don't care for. Okay, now let's use the front brake going into this corner. Drop 2, drop 3, front brake. Oh, nice. Oh, there's a little jerkiness. Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. Like the front feel of and the feedback of the front brake. No problem on this. Now let's try the rear. Oh boy. Yeah, the rear brake needs help. But it's getting better the more I use it. Here, let's drop back down. Let's try the rear brake again, shall we? Okay, now. Okay, it's still wow, I've got to apply a lot of pressure to that rear brake. And then the feedback is not very good at all. Very little feedback. I would like more, like about 5 times more feedback. Oh, I woke Sean up. But overall, this chassis with the brakes, minus the rear brake, I'll give it a 1.5 thumbs. But the Daytona's name implies performance and non-adjustable front forks on a bike that has the word Daytona on it, especially if you're Triumph. Shame on you, Triumph. So that's why it's only getting 1.5 thumb for non-adjustable, albeit they are good. But hey, wait a minute, you know what if you're a lightweight girl that only weighs 100 pounds soaking wet? You're gonna want to loosen them up. Or if you're a guy that weighs 200 pounds dry, yeah, you're gonna want to tighten them up. So that's my one criticism of this suspension and brakes. These suspensions, are they good? Yes. Yeah, of course. Show a big piston. Yeah. Separate function fork. Yeah. No problem. Great. Give it to me adjustable. At least let me adjust the preload on it, so that if I'm 100 pounds or 200 pounds or 300 pounds, God forbid, 150 kilos, you can still ride this bike. So 1.5 thumb. Boom, boom. Coming to the back, it looks nice and clean. Most of you guys will probably take this off, won't you? You can get the cowl here too, over top. And yeah, this is 810 off the ground. Remember, I think the Trident is 805. So remember, this is the frame and subframe from that Trident. So although it's a little higher rear shock, and they changed the angle a little bit to make it more nimble. Let's hope it makes it more nimble. So 810, yeah, I feel a little big for this bike. As you can see here, with my foot up, I guess I've just outgrown this style of riding. But yeah, and a 14-liter tank here. Filled up, yeah, this is just over 200 kilos. How does that feel in a little village? This thing is excellent in town, as all the bikes are in this class. This is a little less flickable though than like the RS 660. Yeah. Or the Yamaha too. Yeah, it's this heft of the triple here that I'm feeling, I guess. That's the difference between those bikes and its flickability. Yeah, okay, and now I'm splitting hairs. Is this thing flickable? Yes. Now, within this class, those two bikes are a little more flickable than this. How is the on-off throttle here in this 30 though? Oh, it's pretty good. I cannot complain about that. Okay, there, I found it. Yeah, that's a little bit of this backlash from the chain though. That's, you're not gonna, that's pretty good. So the software for this ride-by-wire is pretty good. Cannot complain so well. Oh, I'm speeding. I'm doing 3, 1, 2 over. Ooh, boy. But on off, no complaints. Flickability, no complaints. Yeah, this feels all of 200 kilos. You know, it feels its weight. You know it's there. This riding position I'm just not accustomed to. But then in this class there's 6 bikes and they all have about the same riding position. But in a little village like this, it's well, it's pretty good. I don't care for it. This is not my, okay, 20 years ago I would have said yoo-hoo, loving it. You know, when I was 37, maybe I would have said, okay, 30 years ago, not 20 years ago, 30 years ago, I would have said, woohoo, 5 thumbs up in a village. But at my age, nah, it's getting 1 thumb. Nothing new here. Looks like the Tridents and the Tiger Sport and a few other lower end Triumph controls, same thing there. And what does this look like? Yeah, same thing. Trident and 660 Sport, same thing. Mirrors work, not especially well because the first third is taken up by your elbows. But that's true with all sport bikes in this size and shape. But yeah, same TFT that display that's on the Trident. So Triumph is reusing or trying to figure out more platforms to put this motor, this frame, this TFT in, all the parts that make this up into this machine. So that's, I don't blame them. Good job, Triumph, for trying to do that and give us a sportier bike. So some of you would say, well, in this group, so let's compare apples to apples, because there's 6 main bikes that we can compare in this group. So I keep coming back to that, main bikes. This would be at the top of my list, along with the new Suzuki. But I'm not a fan, so I'm the wrong guy to ask. Who is this for? The guy to do the occasional track day and want to look good, and you like the Triumph brand and looks. I have a problem with putting the word Daytona on here because it's really not. It's really not at all. But it looks good, right? Looks like a Daytona, feels like a Daytona, does all those things like a Daytona. But hey, oh well. All right, guys, I hope you've enjoyed this review and the buzzing with the drone. If you have, I hope I've earned your subscription. As always, guys, ride safe. That's most important on the list. And number 2, guys, ride like there's nothing to prove. Take care. Cheers.